Hello, everyone. I'm Matt Sims, and this is EDL 855, um, my introduction. And so, just some personal demographics here. Quick little rundown about myself. I currently live in Colby, Kansas. I moved here in January of 2003, met my wife in April. We were married in March of 2004. I have three daughters, 24, 18, and 14. And my oldest daughter has been married for what will be 2 years, and they have a 6 month old. And so I'm a young 43-year-old grandpa, and Legend is 6 months old. So this has been my one and only job in education. I moved right out of college, moved to Colby, stayed here, love my family. Man, I got a great crew. I graduated from the University of Nebraska-Kearney in December of 2002, and then was immediately hired. As I said, I moved to the high school in 2014. I have coached. Uh, I've been an assistant football, head wrestling coach, and head golf coach for most of those years. And actually, this year I will fulfill none of those. I am stepping in as the principal at Colby High School. So I'm kind of in a rush here to get all of this finished, but excited for my new opportunity. So all of this class kind of all of a sudden starts to ring true when you're moving into this role. Just some summaries here. The difference between personal and professional ethics, as you can see. Your personal ethics are just generally how you were raised, your idea of right and wrong, and what you feel. This has kind of been instilled in you from the beginning. Professional ethics are introduced to you as a person when you entered the profession. So I entered the profession of teaching and basically had some idea of what the ethics would be based on my previous um, class, my previous experience in high school and growing up. And then, I had a lot of great mentors that explained this to me. But the major difference is kind of the strictness of how these are enforced. Your personal ethics, there's maybe nobody really accounting to you personally, telling you what your ethics should be. But when you enter profession, those professional ethics are laid out for you. How you treat others, how you treat students, your relationships with students. And so those are put there for us. And that strictness is not always just adhered to by you, but by those that employ you. And you can get yourself in a lot of trouble by violating those types of ethics. Ethical decision making for school. School leaders should make sure that they are setting and upholding good ethics, and that can be modeled by the students and staff. This process is not always followed, and many times ethics come into question when people start to feel pressure to succeed or to meet a standard. Hollins, 2020, stated that principles of public life created by Lord Nolan in 1994, they include selflessness, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty, and leadership. Most people plan to have great ethics and they are committed to the process. That being said, many people have made unethical and illegal decisions because of pressures and issues that cause them to compromise ethics. So a good place to start would be for schools to have these ethic guidelines put in place to help guide and navigate leaders to sound ethical decisions within the school. I also think that having some type of a mentorship program where you can bounce ideas or even just kind of get this ideas from people really helps. The rules of ethics of student success. I highlighted their ideas of honesty, hard work, respect, cooperation, compassion, and forgiveness. And I just really felt like honesty is a huge part when it comes to ethics. If people trust what you're saying and know that you'll follow through, they can do this. I'm a big believer in hard work. I think that you gain a lot of respect from people when you work hard. They respect you. They see products of your labor, and that helps them. And then just being able to respect others. It's hard to learn from people that you don't respect, and if you have no respect for the people that work for you or the people that you work under, that's going to be a long situation. Being able to cooperate with others, being able to look at people compassionately through their lens. And then I think forgiveness is a huge step. I think, man, so many times your goals and you're held back because of your inability to forgive people. So being able to forgive them helps you grow as a person, helps you move on, and just kind of opens up the door to a lot of rewards for you. Code of ethics for educators, obviously, towards students. We need to solve problems according to the law. We need to be giving students facts. We need to be respecting them, but also protecting them. And also, we're not sharing any information about those students. I think ethical code conduct toward practice and performance. I mean, you got to continually grow. You've got to live a healthy lifestyle. You got to remember you're representing that school or that group that you're working for. Be careful in how you're handling money. Make sure there's checks and balances there. And then you're not using any of this for your personal gain. When you're talking about your professional colleagues, you're going to protect their information. You're not going to make up things that aren't true about them. If you do hear something, you aren't going to spread it until, and even if it is true, it's maybe no other people's business. You just really have to protect those who work around you. I think that is something, and I even think when they make a mistake, just being able to not necessarily cover it up, but sometimes people just run into a situation where they need your help, where they need your respect, and kind of how you treat them when they make a mistake is definitely how they'll treat you when you make a mistake. And that's real important as a leader. And then parents and community, you got to remember that you got to communicate. You got to remember that you're respecting all different cultural views, and just being actively involved in that community. The more they see you, the better that situation is. I really liked this guidelines by the Utah State Board. I took a picture of their standards here, and then I really like the idea of personal courage, being able to be a positive educational leader, but also stand up against policies that aren't helping students. And I think this is real key for an administrator, and putting that public interest ahead of yourself, having self-control, self-discipline, and integrity. Get employees that have strengths and use those strengths in those employees, and task those employees to do great things. Being able to recognize talent, and this means like both student and staff, qualities of excellence that really help you. And I think it's requiring high ethics from all. You just can't have one standard for one group of people and another standard for this group. That's going to run you into problems. So just having high ethical standards and expecting people to meet those is going to be great. And I kind of talked about understanding what different things could happen and how they're implemented, and having a sensitivity towards people, and then just be inclusive. The more people feel like they belong to your group, the better off you're going to be. Here's some code of ethics for an educator. Make conscious effort to be fair and personal to all students. Parents and students need to trust that your decision will be consistent and that you will not make any expectations. I've kind of alluded to that earlier. Provide teachers with the opportunity with information about ethics. Know your community. Some things are acceptable in some communities. Some things are frowned upon. It's just kind of difference of where you are. You've got to know that and how that transpires. Make sure that teachers avoid being alone with students. I always stress this to a lot of young coaches, a lot of young driver's ed teachers. Don't be in that vehicle alone. Don't be in that room alone. And then I think as a leader, you've got to be ready to address problems. Sweeping things under the rug or ignoring them or not getting to the bottom of an issue right away can definitely lead to more problems. Technology, appropriate use of technology is a big one. School property, not for personal gain, and obviously avoid inappropriate relationships with students. And all of those can kind of just be lumped together. That technology, avoiding being alone with students and inappropriate relationships. It's just you've got to be very mindful of what you're doing and promote trust in every situation that you're in. Um, just kind of as a critique of, I feel like me personally, um, this is a high deal for me. Every team that I coached, every class that I taught, I wanted to have good ethical standards. I wanted to have good moral character. I wanted them to represent the best that we could. And I just kind of attribute that to a good upbringing. My parents really installed that in me from a young age. I also, as a young teacher, had very good leaders who kind of explained these and put these parameters in place, and also promoted and were good examples to it. And I've kind of, there's also just a coach's code of conduct that you've had to follow, and I just apply that into my teaching career. And anytime I'm in a leadership position, I do that. Any changes, I just need to continue to monitor ethics and continue to know what those standards are and hold myself to those current ideas and practices. And then obviously this overall, a good ethical plan and a good ethics in our profession leads to student success. When they trust adults, they'll come to us for answers, for information, for all kinds of things. And so trust is the key to any relationship and anything we do. And then I think you need to advocate for ethical decisions. Teachers, young teachers, being able to educate them, tell them what the ins and outs, these processes that we're talking about right here. And then know the values and beliefs and hold yourself accountable to them. I think having a good, strong moral character and being able to believe and stand up for what you feel is right, and no matter the situation and no matter what the group is pushing you to do, is just a big thing for me, and something that I have always strived to do and stand for. And sometimes you're going to make a mistake, apologize for it, go on, let people know, hey, I screwed up. And I mean, and this could just be a little thing. Hey, I handled that situation wrong the other day and shouldn't have done this, or whatever it might be. And then I kind of alluded to this earlier, but when others make mistakes around you that are under you, they maybe didn't get the information that you needed. Be careful of how you treat them. I think that you're going to make a mistake as a leader. And when they make a mistake and they see that you're compassionate and willing to work through that situation, they aren't going to come jumping down your throat, because just however you treat them is just how they're going to come back and treat you when you make a mistake. I kind of put this thing here, the one thing that changes everything. There's one thing that is common to every individual, relationship, team, family, organization, nation, economy, civilization throughout the world. One thing, which if removed, will destroy the most powerful government, the most successful business, and the most thriving economy. The most influential leadership, the greatest friendship, the strongest character, and the deepest love. On the other hand, if developed and leveraged, that one thing has the potential to create unparalleled success and prosperity in every dimension of your life. Yet it is the least understood, most neglected, and most underestimated possibility of our time. That one thing is trust. And one unethical thing breaks that. And I think just if people can trust you and you continue to build that trust in people through hard work, through honesty, through consistency, you're going to be ready to go. So here's my standard correlation. Here's my relevancy statement. And here's my personal reflection. And then I have my references listed here. Look forward to meeting y'all. Thanks for your time.